Thousands of years have passed since all this happened, and now, once more in India, there is a man who claims that Krishna and he are one and the same. His name? Sathya Sai Baba. Whereas Krishna came down to earth to destroy evil, Sathya Sai Baba says he has come to transform evil by love. His followers believe that he, like Krishna before him, is an avatar, an incarnation of God in human form. The name Sathya Sai Baba means true divine mother and father. He is revered as a saint who can perform miracles. It is reported, for instance, that he has been seen in 2 or more places at once, that he cures the sick, even raises people from the dead. Daily, for over 50 years, he has materialized so-called holy ash, which in India is the symbol of inner transformation. Followers who restrict their view to the production out of thin air of necklaces, watches and other pieces of jewelry, he corrects by stating that they are only his calling cards. What you call miracles, he says, is only tinsel and trash. What you should really ask of me is how to reach self-realization. This is the story of a man who was born in 1926 and at age 14 revealed himself as an avatar. For years known by only a few, over the last decades he has become recognized by the masses as a charismatic personality who has set himself the task of reconciling the differences in the world. Whereas his followers have unconditional faith in the supernatural abilities of Sathya Sai Baba, skeptics call it deception. Which is the truth? In the end, we chose to follow the simple guideline given by Jesus of Nazareth. By their fruit you shall know the tree. Who is Sathya Sai Baba, and what kind of mirror does he hold up to our faces? Is he a world teacher who can reconcile differences? How credible is this in a nation plagued by religious discord and stricken with poverty, where decent medical care and getting an education seem to be the sole prerogative of an elite? Our endless capacity for doubt keeps us circling around the question whether or not Sathya Sai Baba is the embodiment of divine energy. We would have welcomed the opportunity to have him address these issues in person, but he didn't think the time was ripe. Hence, in this film, people who have spent years in his immediate presence come forward. They tell us of their deep-rooted faith, an inner knowledge characteristic of a culture in which the divine takes on many different forms. A culture also in which intellect and feeling are of equal importance in the personal process which is destined to lead to self-realization.
We in India believe that God, that is pure consciousness, which is pure, non-dual and indivisible, can manifest itself in human form for the purpose of guiding humanity. And India has witnessed many avatars, what we call, where God descends upon earth in human form. I mean, He's always there. He's immanent in every creature, in every human being, in every creature, in every creation. He is immanent, but He decides by self-will to take birth as a human being in order to guide, inspire men to higher life. And it's a matter of conviction that Sai Baba is God, is infinite consciousness descended upon earth in human form to take the people along the path of love and devotion, to bring peace and harmony.
To me, Sai Baba is a divine personality who, through the extraordinary powers that he manifests, creates an impression that he is more powerful than any human being that one can think of. We refer to him as an avatar of God, which means an incarnation of God Almighty, God descending on earth, but with human attributes, living like everybody else, going through pain and pleasure, suffering from cough and cold, foot injury and so on, but now and then to shake us out of our complacency by performing a feat which is so extraordinary that no law of physics, chemistry, nothing in engineering can just equal the feats that he performs. He produces many objects out of his palm, empty palm, a wristwatch like this one which I am wearing. This is a watch which he gave me about a year ago, one morning. Put it on my wrist. I took it out and looked at it. It says made in Paris and it bears a number and so on. So I said, Swami, you got this for me now from Paris? He said, no, I created it for you just now.
Miracles are either true or not true. In this case, I have seen them with my own eyes, and they are true.
I see him as a world teacher because I've seen as a student and as a teacher in Bhagwan's Institute that he's very fond of playing the role of guru. So I always I think of him as a world teacher, and then of course as a world teacher. But deep inside me, he's more than just a world teacher. He's just God.
Sai Baba has a great relevance not only to India but to the entire humanity, because he says that all religions lead to the same destination, the same goal, namely divinity. Each religion prescribes a certain path according to the circumstances and the conditions in which the religion was born. But the basic goal, the basic destination is the same. Therefore, it is not right to say that one religion is better than another. All the religions are of equal validity, equal efficacy, and of equal sanctity. It is that for which millions of people flock to Baba.
Ranjilli penchuta kada Veera Shivajiyu peruganche
Monday, November 23rd, 1992. Because it is Sathya Sai Baba's birthday, approximately 500,000 people have gathered in his native town of Puttaparthi. People from different countries and different cultures. What is it that makes them travel such a long distance from home? Wherein lies the attraction of Sathya Sai Baba? Or do we have to interpret this phenomenon as a collective escape into yet another sect?
What Bhagwan Baba has come to tell is not that he is establishing a new religion. He is only reiterating what has been said in various religions and down the centuries. And it is his mission to tell us that ultimately you will find that no matter what religion you practice or you're born into, you will find that the same values hold good. And that's why Bhagwan Baba says that when you come to him, he doesn't say that convert yourself into a new religion of Baba. There's no such thing at all. If you're a Christian, you be a better Christian. If you're a Muslim, you be a better Muslim. If you're a Hindu, be a better Hindu. And how do you become better? By constant practice of virtues, like for instance, patience, forbearance, sacrifice, purity. And if you really look at the basis of all the religions, the overarching value is love, about which Bhagwan Baba speaks.
Visitors in a museum that is entirely consecrated to the religions of the world. Here the Buddhist is reminded of the wheel of cause and effect. The Muslim of the divine admonition that only those who love their neighbors with all their hearts can enter into paradise. the Christian of the birth of Jesus, whose name is mentioned with reverence by Hindus because he is considered an avatar. The Jew of Moses, who received the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. The Zoroastrian of the eternal fire, a symbol of transformation, burning up evil. And the Hindu can listen to the primeval sound of Om, which resonates both in the heart of man and in the heart of the universe. One of the halls at the exhibition is almost completely dedicated to the founder of the museum, Sathya Sai Baba. He doesn't want people to worship him because of his name, but he did declare that only those who strive to understand him are welcome here. In complete accordance with the tradition of the Upanishads, ancient Indian scriptures, some of them dating back more than 2,500 years, people in the temple square of the ashram in Puttaparthi are waiting for darshan. Among those who wait are not only Indians, but people from many different countries and cultures. Darshan, which literally means breathing the same air, is an occurrence during which Sathya Sai Baba, in line with ancient custom, shows himself to his followers. Patience is regarded to be a divine virtue in India and must be practiced by everyone. That holds true also for the President of the nation, who we see here with his following, paying his respects to Sathya Sai Baba and waiting to be received.
There are a large number of leaders of India who flock to him in complete dedication, and that is bound to have its effect ultimately on the destiny of the country. And more than anything else, I must tell you one thing. I have been with Swami, with Sathya Sai Baba in his car, or walking along with him in Puttaparthi, and I have seen multitudes of people looking at him, praying to him, with such devotion in their eyes, that I have felt very often so humbled that, well, my devotion is not a fraction of the devotion which these poor, ignorant people have in this divine personality.
The Bhagavad Gita starts out with the doubts and despondency of Arjuna. He refuses to take on the battle to which he has been called. Krishna teaches him that divine love resides in the heart of each and every human being, and that this love is all-embracing and excludes nothing. In the end, when Arjuna asks Krishna to show him his true form, through utter grace, a unique darshan falls to him, and he bows down to his teacher in total surrender. Ever since he was 14, Sathya Sai Baba has been granting darshan to devotees. We wondered what people hoped to experience here, and couldn't help but think of the words of the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung, who once said that the questions "Who am I?" and "What is the purpose of my life?" are closely related to a fundamental religious and psychological problem. The answer to those questions presupposes a profound inner search, in the course of which one shouldn't be tempted to extremes. By staying balanced and detached, one can then ultimately reach a stage of conscious self-reliance. This was also the task of Arjuna. Standing between the armies of good and evil, he learned from Krishna that there is no evil from which something good cannot spring forth, and no good which cannot lead to something bad. Approximately 50 miles south of Anantapur, in a broad valley, we find the town of Puttaparthi, the birthplace of Sathya Sai Baba. Surrounded by two mountain ranges, this primitive country village changed over the last decades into a roofless cloister, the Ashram Prashanti Nilayam, the abode of the highest peace, where millions of people gather every year, hoping to meet Sathya Sai Baba in person. In the immediate proximity of the ashram, an elementary school and a high school were built, and a men's campus of Sai Baba's university has been founded. The educational system of Sathya Sai Baba seems to be popular, because the university, with its 1,200 students, already has a waiting list. There is a third college at Vrindavan, near the city of Bangalore, which houses approximately 1,000 students. All the students are interns. They are allowed 2 visits home each year. They meet in lecture halls, on the sports fields, in the village, in the ashram and in the dining halls. Both the college for women in Anantapur and the 2 colleges for men are autonomous and recognized by the Indian government.
As far as science is concerned, we are mainly concerned with secular knowledge, whereas here we are concerned with spiritual knowledge. Now, secular knowledge means you're dealing with the physical universe. Here you're dealing with the universes that lie above the physical universe. Here you look outwards as far as science is concerned, but when you are on a spiritual journey, you look inwards. So here you look essentially through your physical eye, whereas here you look through your inner eye. Here, seeing is believing, but here, experiencing is believing. And that's very, very important. And here, the knowledge has not been fully obtained. We are still accumulating knowledge. That's why scientific research is in full swing. But as far as this is concerned, we believe that whatever is that we know has already been revealed. It's just that we have to absorb it, internalize it, and make it a part of our system in the quest for our roots, spiritual roots. One interesting thing here is that in the quest for science, ego grows. You become proud, arrogant. Whereas in the quest for our spiritual roots, we have to dissolve our ego. Another very important difference is that when we look at the physical world, we see diversity. Whereas when we turn the eye inwards, diversity gets merged into one cosmic, unified manifold. And as far as scientists are concerned, they travel only halfway. They don't realize that there is a second half.
Show me how you do that trick, the one that makes me scream. He said, the one that makes me laugh. He said, and threw his arms around my neck. Show me how you do it, and I promise that I'll run away with you. I'll run